Part 3, healing and post-integration, reclamation, calling, and re-entry into life. When healing is no longer the center of your life. At the windowsill, there comes a moment when healing is no longer the primary work of your life. Yay! Not because healing was incomplete, but because healing finished what it came to do. There is a subtle shift that occurs after integration. It does not announce itself loudly. It appears quietly. You notice you are no longer organizing your life around what happened. You are no longer structuring your decisions around protection. You are no longer measuring your stability by whether you feel pain. You simply begin living again, not as someone recovering, but as someone restored. This phase is called reclamation, and scripturally, it's called restoration. Reclamation is when the energy that was once required for survival and healing becomes available for creation. You are no longer using your energy to hold yourself together. You are free to build. You are free to expand. You are free to grow. What post-integration is? Post-integration is the phase where identity fully transfers from survival-based existence to creation-based existence. Before this phase, much of your internal energy was allocated toward stabilizing your nervous system, understanding your past, processing grief, protecting yourself from further harm. These were necessary, but they were not your final destination. Post-integration is where your nervous system stops scanning for threat and begins orienting toward possibilities. You are no longer asking, am I safe? You begin asking, what is mine to build now? Where do I start? What do I do? This is the beginning of authorship. It's also the beginning of authenticity. The nervous system after integration. After integration, the nervous system enters a state called baseline regulation. This is where the body no longer operates in chronic survival mode. Your nervous system becomes responsive instead of reactive. You no longer anticipate harm automatically. You are able to experience curiosity, peace, creative thought, future orientation. Your nervous system is no longer using energy to protect yourself from the past. It is available to support your future. You have a hope for your future. This is why many people experience increased clarity during this phase. The nervous system is no longer preoccupied with survival. It is available for direction. The reclamation of identity. Reclamation is the process of returning ownership of your life fully to yourself. During trauma, parts of your identity were organized around adaptation. You adapted to survive. You adapted to maintain stability. You adapted to endure. But those adaptations are no longer required. Reclamation asks a new question. Who are you when survival is no longer necessary? This question is not answered immediately. It unfolds. It takes time. You begin noticing preferences that were once suppressed. You begin allowing yourself to choose without fear. You begin trusting your internal voice again. Identity shifts from protection to expression. This is not becoming someone new. This is becoming someone unburdened. Signs you are entering post-integration. Post-integration has clear markers. You may notice you no longer feel compelled to revisit the past repeatedly. So no loop, no rumination. You no longer seek validation from those who harmed you. You have denied access. You feel emotionally stable, even when remembering those difficult events. You begin thinking about the future more than you think about the past. You feel a quiet sense of readiness. I'm ready. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for the next. You feel less urgency to explain yourself. Doesn't matter if you're misunderstood. You don't need anybody to validate who you are, what's happened to you, or anything. You just have an audience of one, God. You feel increased clarity of what belongs in your life and what does not. There is space inside you now, space where survival once lived. The emergence of calling. Calling does not emerge during survival stages. Calling emerges after restoration. When the nervous system stabilizes, attention becomes available. You begin recognizing what draws you. You begin recognizing what matters to you, what you are uniquely equipped to build. Calling is not something you force. It is something that becomes visible when survival no longer obstructs your vision. Calling is the natural expression of your integrated identity. It is not separate from your healing. It is the continuation of it. The emotional language of post-integration. This phase does not mean the absence of sadness. Grief may still appear. Memories may still surface. Tears still come. But they no longer destabilize your identity. They heal. They move you through. They do not define you. You are no longer controlled by the emotional states. You remain anchored. You are able to feel fully and remain stable. This is emotional freedom. This is emotional regulation. Re-entry into life. Post-integration is where you re-enter life fully. Not cautiously, not fearfully, but consciously. You begin forming connections from stability instead of need. You begin making decisions from clarity instead of fear. You begin building from identity instead of survival. You are no longer seeking rescue. You are living from authorship, authenticity. Life becomes something you participate in, not something you endure. Father speaks, the commissioning. My child, you have walked through restoration. You have allowed me to rebuild what was broken. You have allowed truth to stabilize you. You are no longer defined by what you survived. You are defined by what you now carry. You do not need to remain in the posture of healing. You may now walk in the posture of living. You may now, I will guide what you build. I will establish what you create. You are no longer in recovery. You are in commission. You walk forward. I am with you as you build, as you walk into the calling that is your purpose that I've always called you to. Scripture, Isaiah 61:3. He gives beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Joel 2:25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. Teaching model, the full restoration sequence. Survival, awakening, separation, stabilization, integration, reclamation. Reclamation is where identity moves from healing to living. You are no longer becoming stable. You are stable. You are now becoming expressed. You can express yourself. You can teach. You can share. Journaling prompt. What feels newly available to me now that survival is no longer required? What draws my attention naturally? What do I feel ready to build? Challenge. Allow yourself to live without organizing your life around what happened to you. Allow yourself to build without fear. Allow yourself to move forward without needing permission from the past or from anyone. Healing has completed its primary work. You are no longer in restoration. You are in reclamation. And I'm praying for you. These are stages. These take time. And Broken to Beauty Ministries has been developed because I am in the stage of reclamation. It's taken a long time to get here, a very long time. A lot of tears, a lot of healing, a lot of intentional, hard internal reflection work. It doesn't come unless you do the hard work. You have to process, you have to walk through. There's no skipping this stuff to get to who you were meant to be, your calling, your purpose. You have to walk through these stages. and walk alongside God. Walk alongside God. Walk alongside God. Okay, I got it out. Because He's the true healer. He's the true physician. No doctor, no therapist, no counselor, no psychiatrist. Nobody can do what God can do. Although they walk alongside you and they help. So it's good to have those people in your corner. And I'm praying for you. And I can't wait to see and hear what God is doing in and through you once you heal and once you reclaim and take your life back. And God can do it. He can do it, but don't quit. There are times that you want to quit. You feel like, I'm so tired. I'm so overwhelmed. I just don't want to. But you know what? Choose your hard. It's hard to stay stuck and it's hard to heal. But healing has a reward, a future of hope, and a life of eternity that is abundant. Praying for you. Thank you.